Folks, what we have here is another example of how every accusation from the right is really a confession. Because once again, another one of these disgusting weirdos is getting justice served directly to the face like a spiked ball.
They raise him heavenward!
But as you're about to see, this one's even crazier because this weirdo was endorsed by Donald Trump Jr., the dark hair failed son, which is the only way my brain can distinguish between Dumb and Dumber. Of course, I'm not surprised that the party of Matt Gaetz and Donald Trump might not have the well-being of children in mind. I mean, they want kids working in factories making iPhones because their little fingers are perfect for screwing in millions of tiny little screws. They're not doing anything about the fact that child marriage is still prevalent in this country and punishment for drug offenders are harsher than they are for these monsters, but hopefully not for this specific monster. Mind you, this guy looks indistinguishable from any of the other MAGA cult members. This is Michigan youth pastor Zachary Radcliffe, a conservative activist and recording artist who Donald Trump Jr. apparently knows good enough to give a little shout out to.
Pastor Frank, this is Donald Trump Jr. I hear you're trying to build a new building at Oakwood Church, and I think it's absolutely awesome. I met Zach during CPAC and with Jerry Falwell at Liberty University. I think he's just an amazing guy. So I hope that you guys can make that happen and keep doing the incredible work that you're doing. Don't ever quit. Don't ever stop. Your message is an important one, and we got to keep fighting for it. So keep going strong. Don't ever stop. And I look forward to seeing both of you guys sometime in the not too distant future.
I hope you get to see him too, in prison. The entire Trump family is as far from Christ as spiritually possible. If Trump isn't the Antichrist, then I'm not Tony Hinderman, and this isn't really American. Speaking of, if you're enjoying the coverage here that MAGA hates to see, join our resistance at Really American by subscribing. It's free, and you help us get to 1 million. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have some more information on this guy that I want to show you guys, but I have to censor some of it due to YouTube's rules. I have to give you a warning right now, though. You are about to hear a PDF file sing.
Thanking God that you're still breathing, hearing a newborn baby cry, like raising your hands.
The man you just saw in that video was 29-year-old youth pastor Zachary Radcliffe. Before his arrest, Zachary was very active and outspoken in the political world, and he was deeply involved in his church. But as it turns out, Zachary was a hardcore pedophile. Zachary was arrested last year after authorities were given a tip. And when they investigated him, what they found was nothing short of disturbing. Since at least 2011, Zachary had been molesting children whose ages ranged from 12 to 17 years old. He had also been soliciting these children to have them send him abusive material. And while all this was going on, he was playing for large crowds and hanging out with the political elite. So Zachary was finally arrested in October of 2024, and in 2025, this is what the judge presiding over his case had to say. I don't say this lightly at all, not how I operate my life, and certainly not how I operate as a judge, but in my 25 so plus years, I've seen a lot. This ranks up with one of the most egregious predators I have ever seen as it regards individuals. Thankfully, I think Zachary's going to be in prison for a long time, but it always seems like these groups, like youth groups at churches, attract the worst of the worst from society. For a guy like Zachary, he might have seen an open buffet.
The worst case this judge has seen in 25 years, so of course he's wearing a MAGA hat. Predators of a feather flock together, and this judge came down on him like a sledgehammer. This man is now facing 30 additional new charges, bringing the total number of his disgusting charges to 60. There is a special place in hell for people like this, and I can't describe it on YouTube or they'll never even show you this video.
Court does call the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Joseph Radcliffe.
30 new charges for the Augusta Township youth pastor Zachary Radcliffe came on Friday, all related to the alleged sexual abuse that Radcliffe committed against minors at Oakwood Church.
How does your client plead?
Radcliffe, who pled not guilty to all of the new charges, is also facing 60 other charges. Court documents show that the victims were all between the ages of 12 and 17 years old when the abuse allegedly began, when Radcliffe was the youth director at Oakwood Church. The information that we received was shocking, Oakwood Church said in a statement that went on to say that we were told that Zachary had been soliciting inappropriate videos from teens. We've also heard other stories. This information has ripped our hearts apart. The safety and protection of individuals in our church is what is paramount to us. We are devoted to doing what we can for the care of the victims of these crimes.
Once again, I refer to my favorite Is This Y'all resource on the internet, Who's Making News, which tracked every news report on these monsters, and wouldn't you know it, out of all of the politicians that were caught and convicted, Republicans make 2/3 of all of them. Out of 10,000 offenders, there's only 5 transgender people and 1 drag queen. Republican politicians specifically are 10 times more likely to commit these kinds of crimes than trans people and drag queens put together. We're never seeing those Epstein files. Pam Bondi is now claiming that they're missing. Whoopsies, just can't find them. Like, yeah, right. It's because Dawn the Diddler's name is all over them. I, for one, am not going to take my foot off the necks of these disgusting weirdos. They're out there saying that trans people are a danger to children when this kind of stuff goes unreported. Once again, if you want to join our resistance here and stay informed, consider subscribing to Really American. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll see you next time.